the Arsenal chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is potent, as long as it is Arsenal related, right? About here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host, Abu Carls, as I'm definitely dedicated to bring to you the latest trade as it comes in. A lot has been done, a lot has been in the news, and a lot is definitely still going on for the club. Arsenal, we are in the summer transfer window, and I have got to tell you that things are going on quite well and as planned for the club. Arsenal. Where are you watching from? Which part of the world are you watching from? We're talking about two wonderful football players, two good football players, and one of them being Declan Rice, and yet the other being Jurien Timber, who have had their medicals done, and everything is going on quite well and as planned. Where are you watching? Well, where are you watching from? Let us know which part of the world, which part of the country. Definitely things are going on quite well for the club Arsenal. Right about now, Arsenal is in the best of positions to sign good football players, and I must say, football players we're seeing football players moving to the club. As definitely know that the football players have been at is already go Declan Rice that is done, sealed, and confirmed, and this is one of the reasons as to why I am here about Declan Rice football. Is everything all right? Let me check a little bit. I don't want to. Let me hope everything's okay. Is my sound okay now? Must be, must be. My sound must be fine now. Oh, let me check a little bit. Yeah, should be all right. Should be all right. Is the sound okay? Sound okay? Thank you, everybody. Somebody can go into the comment section and let me know. Let me see. Let me check. Should be all right. Should be all right. Is the sound okay? Sound okay? Yeah. Yeah, I think sound now is definitely sorted. Thank you for being part of this podcast, and make your point, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host, Abu Carls, as I'm definitely right here to talk about who is definitely at the club, who's signing, who's had a done deal. As I tell you, it is definitely something that we talk about right about now. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know about the sound. Sound is clear now, Abu. Wycliffe, thank you very much. Everybody in the comment section, Wycliffe, thank you. And Omara Ambrose also, thank you. Everybody in the comment section have definitely come to let you know I've got great news coming in. And you definitely know that right here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host, we talk about done deals. We definitely also talk about medicals, and we talk about talks that are going on, and we talk about deals that are done, sealed, and confirmed. All you need to do is simple. Just subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on any time I definitely come live, so that we can always have a few talks. Right about now, I'll talk a little bit about Declan Rice and tell you what's going on about Declan Rice. Somebody saying they're coming in from Kampala. I've got a few people from Brazil, England. We've got people from all over the world watching this show. So, guys, well, thanks for the updates. Everybody in the comment section, thank you for doing great. So, we'll remember that Declan Rice has been a West Ham. Let me talk a little bit about Declan Rice and where he's coming from, and his move to the club Arsenal. We'll remember that Declan Rice is a football player that has been demanded for quite a big number of clubs. There is a big number of clubs that have been interested in Declan Rice. Declan Rice is a West Ham football player. For those of you who do not know who Declan Rice is, he's been a West Ham football player. And West Ham before came out and said they needed 105 million pound. No, 105. That put him at 120 million pound for the football player. And 120 million pound, that's quite a lot. So Arsenal Putin in the first bid, and the first bid was 80 million pound, and he was rejected there and then. And after the 80 million, second bid, and this second bid went to 90 million. And when £90 that was being put in for the football player, it comes up Man City also get interested in this. Man City also put that is £90 million. The favorite was still the club Arsenal. And right about now, I can confirm to you was put out of and Man City is nowhere near the transfer right about now. After Man City was taken out of this transfer, things have definitely fallen in place for the club Arsenal. And as we speak, the club that is on top is Arsenal. And medicals were definitely scheduled for today. And what I can confirm to you is that the medicals have been done. And it's been double medicals. With Declan Rice, he is a deal that is done, sealed, and complete, I must say. Let me see. Oh, sound again is not okay. I don't know what's wrong with my sound, you know. Oh, what's wrong with my sound? Sound. You can always let me know if things... Okay. Sorry about the sound. I'll make sure that I always get it right. Anyway, so having talked about the football player Declan Rice and what's definitely transpiring about Declan Rice. Declan Rice is a very good football player, I must say. He's a very wonderful one, and getting a very good football player like Declan Rice, that's one of the best things that the club Arsenal is doing. Arsenal has looked into its defensive midfield, and they have definitely come to conclusion. They have come to get to know that there is something lacking in the defensive midfield. And Mikel Arteta, who is the current manager of Arsenal, plus the technical director of Arsenal, Mr. Edu Gaspar, had a few crucial meetings one-on-one to see what was wrong with the club Arsenal, because Arsenal was in a position of taking the Premier League title, but because of a few reasons, they definitely did not take the Premier League title. And one of the biggest reasons as to why Arsenal didn't take the Premier League title was because of the defensive midfield that was a little bit shaky. So the technical director, being a big mastermind, Mr. Edu Gaspar, sat down with Mikel Arteta, and they laid their problems to Stan and Josh Karionki, and they put on the table and they're like, you know what, Stan and Josh Karionki, the biggest problem that we have right about now is in the midfield section. If we're going to sign one football player this season, this transfer season, let it be a defensive midfielder. And the fact that Arsenal is not only looking at defensive midfielders, it's looking even at other positions. And the fact that Kai Havertz is already at the club, that definitely shows you what is definitely going on. So it's been a brilliant thing for the club Arsenal, I must say. Something that has been quite great. And Arsenal noticing that it was something that was quite crucial. It was something that was quite crucial to get a defensive midfielder, because Arsenal finishing in the second position, it was a big fault in the defensive midfield. Very big fault in the defensive midfield. And also, some of the football players that have been at Arsenal did not perform to the maximum. They didn't put in 100%. I mean, towards the end, there was something lacking. And mostly, some of the things that were lacking, strength and power. And that's what the football player like Declan Rice is bringing to the club Arsenal. It will be remembered that Declan Rice's medical was scheduled for today, and it's done. And from different sources that we are getting, from different sources over the media, over the club, from different sources everywhere, Declan Rice's medical has come out good. Everything is okay. And we can confirm to you that Declan Rice is going to play for the club Arsenal. There is nothing whatsoever that's going to stop Declan Rice from playing for the club Arsenal. As right about now, as it stands, £105 million is what was agreed by the club West Ham and by the club Arsenal. And that £105 million is supposed to be paid in a short period of time. Arsenal wanted this amount of money to be paid in a period of 5 years. But again, West Ham said, no, we need it within around 2 years. And the club Arsenal went on and said, we will play according to your terms as long as we get the football player Declan Rice. Both parties definitely agreed upon this. Both parties were happy about this. Both parties agreed and they said that definitely and definitely they only need Declan Rice and they're willing to, Arsenal said they need Declan Rice and they're definitely willing to give in anything that the club wants and they'll have him. And the club, Manchester City was definitely pushed out of the transfer because they could not go more than that. There is no way Manchester City would have put in a bid of 110, That was definitely out. 110 million pound, out. 105 million pound. And Arsenal was very determined. I liked Arsenal this time round. I like the way Arsenal is doing business right about now. Business at Arsenal is definitely on point. It's definitely going on quite well. Everything is going on quite well at Arsenal. Whoever is doing the business for Arsenal understands what football business is. No time to waste, no time absolutely to waste. Get the football players in. Arsenal is definitely getting all these football players in. It's something that is quite great. No time to waste whatsoever. Getting Declan Rice at an amazing 105 million pound has been something that has been incredible. And Arsenal was, at this point in time, Arsenal was very ready even to go further than that. Arsenal was waiting for Manchester City to put in another bid. And if Manchester City made any slight mistake and put in another bid, say 110, Arsenal were willing to get 120 million pounds that was being demanded by the club West Ham. And that's quite great. That shows the amount of determination that has been going on. The amount of determination that the club Arsenal has when it comes to transfers in order to make sure that they can secure the English Premier League title, the Champions League title the coming season. And I can promise you, and I can tell you this, it's going to be a different Arsenal come next season. It's going to be an absolutely different Arsenal the coming season. Somebody in the comment section, and that's Motel, saying, I'm happy to hear that Declan Rice has passed the medical at Arsenal. Great news. It's quite great news. So, what I'm telling you, whoever is doing business at the club Arsenal, whoever is doing business for the club Arsenal, knows exactly what to do when it comes to transfers, knows exactly what to do when it comes to business in football, because that's what any football club definitely needs. Any football club needs not to walk away from a transfer. A football club does not need to walk away from a transfer when another bidder comes in. Go into a bidding war. Win the bidding war. And that's what Arsenal has done. Arsenal has walked into this Declan Rice transfer, is won the transfer. Walked into the transfer, fought the transfer, won the transfer. And that's what Arsenal has done. And Declan Rice is definitely going to play for the club Arsenal. So, can you imagine a defensive midfield that has Declan Rice in it and at Arsenal? It's going to be great news. Everything is going on quite well and as anticipated. With Declan Rice. Wycliffe, thank you for saying the sound was sorted. Thank you. Thank you everybody in the comment section. Thank you. And when something is not going on all right, it's always okay to tell me so that I can definitely sort it out. So Declan Rice in the club Arsenal, it's a new marriage. And Declan Rice wrote to West Ham a few months ago and told West Ham, and it's like, I'm not into staying at the club West Ham. Even though when West Ham wanted him very much, West Ham wanted Declan Rice to stay. Because there is no club And it's understandable. I can understand where West Ham was coming from. There's no club that would let Declan Rice go. I do not know of any club. Bayern Munich wanted him. Bayern Munich wanted him badly. But Arsenal, and congratulations, Arsenal. And I say congratulations and congratulations again. Because Arsenal beat Manchester United on this transfer. Arsenal beat Manchester City on this transfer. Arsenal beat Liverpool on this transfer. Arsenal beat Bayern Munich on this transfer. And West Ham was also beaten hands down because he could not remain at West Ham. Brazio, the Prince says, sounds great for our team. It's quite great. Somebody saying, tell me about Moises Caicedo. I'm going to talk about Moises Caicedo in a bit. But right about now, let's talk about this transfer. Anyway, let me go. You know, you're my bosses, so whatever you say, I have to do. Let's talk about Moises Caicedo, what's going on. And I'm going to be realistic with Moises Caicedo, with the information that's coming in. If you do not like it, I'm sorry. And if you like it, still. But you know you are my bosses. And if you ask, I've got to deliver. And somebody in the comment section, Moses, has said, can you tell me, please, about Moises Caicedo? So you remember that Moises Caicedo is a Brighton and Hove football player, and is still a Brighton and Hove football player, and also plays for the Ecuadorian national team. And he's been linked to quite a big number of clubs. A big number of clubs have been into the transfer, and Arsenal is still, there is still chance for the club Arsenal to get into, get Moises Caicedo. But put in consideration that he is not the first choice that Arsenal is looking at. Arsenal wants to get 100 Moises Caicedo, if at all. Moises Caicedo is a good football player, but the club Chelsea are trying to sign him, and they are in advanced talks with the football player. So, having said that, Moises Caicedo isn't an interest of the club Arsenal at this point in time. He's not the number one interest. The number one interest is Declan Rice. And apart from Declan Rice, there is Jurien Timber. Oh, somebody, I don't know what's wrong with the sound, you know. People complaining about the sound. My brother, I like your show, but the sound seems a problem. Sorry. Oh, we love you, sir. Arsenal forever. Brazil the Prince. Thank you. I don't know what's wrong with the sound, but let me check it again. I hope everything is okay now. So, having said that, that's what I had to say about Moises Caicedo. And if things change, I'll come live again and I'll tell you what's definitely happening in the transfer. Well, so let's talk about Declan Rice. Let's get more into Declan Rice. Let's talk a bit more about Declan Rice and his transfer to the club Arsenal. So it will be remembered that a lot is definitely going on for the club Arsenal, and transfers are definitely going on. And as you already know, that right about here at the Arsenal chapter, we talk about done deals, we talk about medicals, we talk about what's going on in the camp of Arsenal. Let me see if there is any latest right about now. You know, I've got to check for you if there is any latest information that's coming in. So, having said that, I think we should, Declan Rice is a deal that's done, sealed, and confirmed. The fact that he's passed his medical, the fee was already agreed, that definitely shows you how serious the transfer is. Now we can talk a little bit about Jurien Timber. So it will be remembered that Jurien Timber is an ex-football player. He's been playing for the club Ajax Amsterdam. And also, he's been playing for the Netherlands national team. And is that football player, very good defender, is a very wonderful defender, one of the best defenders there is in the world. And the fact that Mikel Arteta saw him play, watched him play, and said, I definitely need this football player in my yard. I definitely need him at the club Arsenal. It's been a great, great thing, I must say. And he's one of those football players I definitely like. His tackling skills are definitely fine. His discipline is okay. For a defender of his category to play the way he does without major problems, really, he's not injury prone. He is always on point. Successful tackles are at a very high percentage. That's the sort of football player that you definitely and definitely need in your club. Definitely and definitely. Thanks so much for your show. I'm Godwin from Entebbe, Uganda. Can you tell me how far with the outer area? Arsenal is definitely and definitely having the football player. There's nothing that's going to stop Arsenal from having Jurien Timber, as it is reportedly said that Arsenal have already agreed terms. Terms have been agreed, and also good news again. Bringing to you good news again. There's been a medical today, and the medical has definitely come out successful for Jurien Timber. There's been a stretch for the football player. The football player has been linked to a number of clubs. Manchester United wanted Jurien Timber, and also Arsenal wanted Jurien Timber. But Manchester United is definitely out of the picture right about now as we speak. The fact that Jurien Timber has agreed already to a move to the club Arsenal and gone on and done a medical, and the medical has gone on and become successful. Definitely and definitely. Oh, somebody's saying, is Declan Rice a defensive midfielder or attacking midfielder? He's a defensive midfielder, Declan Rice. He's not an attacking midfielder. But very good one, very wonderful one. On point. The way he plays, the way Declan Rice plays, is one that is admired by almost every club. Almost every club likes Declan Rice. You can see the amount of money that this transfer definitely is in. You'll remember that Arsenal's last transfer, record transfer, was £72 million, and that was Nicolas Pepe. And ever since then, from Nicolas Pepe to now, Nicolas Pepe was in 2019. Up to now, there has not been a transfer at the club Arsenal that has cost £105 million. But £105 million, it only and only shows you the magnitude of quality that Declan Rice has. And the fact that it's not Arsenal only that has been willing to pay this amount of money, we possibly would have said Arsenal is making a mistake, We would have said Arsenal is making a big mistake paying that amount of money. But it's not a mistake. He is worth, and I will repeat it, Declan Rice is worth £105 million. Wycliffe saying, is there any chance for a striker right about now? I must say, Arsenal has been linked to a number of strikers, but at this moment in time, I don't think Arsenal is going to have a striker this week. But once this is done, taken out of the system, once these two football players are completely out of the system, then Arsenal is going to be eyeing another football player. And somebody's been asking me, can you please tell me about Kylian Mbappe to the club? Anyway, I will. Okay, you are my bosses, so I've got nothing to do. If you ask somebody asking about Kylian Mbappe, Kylian Mbappe is a Paris Saint-Germain player. Paris Saint-Germain didn't. It took PSG quite a lot to believe that he wanted to go, but what happened was PSG wrote to him after some time and said, "You're not going as a free agent. There is no chance for you to go as a free agent. We are either selling you now," and that's what has happened today. This information I'm giving you is from today. PSG wrote to after Kylian Mbappe writing to PSG and telling PSG that he wants to leave as a free agent the coming season. PSG, after 1 year actually, PSG has written to him today and told him that you are either signing now a new contract, and if you're not signing now a new contract, we are selling you now. So he's got 12 days to decide on his future, and that's where he is. He's been linked to a number of clubs. He's been linked to Liverpool, he's been linked to Arsenal, and he's been also linked to Real Madrid. But the question is, Arsenal has spent a bit of money. Arsenal has already spent £65 million on Kai Havertz. Arsenal has also spent £105 million on Declan Rice. And Arsenal, again, has spent something close to £40 million for Jurien Timber. Arsenal's budget has been spending slightly more than £200 for this summer transfer window, unless otherwise. But this is where the otherwise comes in. This is where the otherwise comes in. Kylian Mbappe costs £150 million. His actual price actually is 250. He could be costing 250 or even more. But he's got only 1 year on his contract, and he's also got a plan. He's got 1 year on his contract, and he's also got, in his contract, he's got a clause that says that he can extend his stay at the club Paris Saint-Germain by 1 year. But put in consideration that him and only him can trigger that clause. And he has said he's not triggering that clause. He does not want to stay at Paris Saint-Germain in capital letters. And right about now, PSG do not want to lose him. There is no club like to lose Kylian Mbappe just like that. You've got to sell him. You've got to sell him. And I said this on my previous podcast before this information came out. I said PSG, for those of you who've been following me, you know it. PSG, when it was first linked to the club Arsenal, I said, not allow the football player Kylian Mbappe to go as a free agent. And that was bang on. That was spot on. It comes out today that Kylian Mbappe is not for any reason going to leave as a free agent. He's got either put pen to paper today, not today, but this season. And if he doesn't put pen to paper today, he's sold. And what he wants is being sold. What he wants is being sold. He does not want to remain at the club. But also put in consideration, but there is what they call player power. There is what they call player power. And player power is when the football player decides, when the football player says, I want to make a move, and there's nothing you can say about it. So Kylian Mbappe saying he's moving away from Paris Saint-Germain. We could possibly see the club Arsenal breaking the bank. And if Arsenal can break the bank for the for Kylian Mbappe, I'm okay with it. But the question still is, Arsenal has spent a lot of money. Is it viable? Is it going to happen? And what are the chances of it happening? Very minimal. Sorry about it. But reality falls in. The chance of Arsenal buying the football player Kylian Mbappe are minimal. Very small. Very, very small. Very small. I do not want to raise your hopes. I do not want to make you feel like, Arsenal's going to buy Kylian Mbappe. Very small. Ambrose saying he will be very okay with the transfer. Still, I'll still tell you, Ambrose, that's okay, that's good. But the chances of Arsenal buying Kylian Mbappe, if it was possibly before all this, if it was before getting into all these transfers, possibly Arsenal would have a chance because the money would definitely be there. But again, £150 million shouldn't be a problem for the club Arsenal. But put in consideration, but Real Madrid is that club that has been haunting Kylian Mbappe from Monaco, and when he moved to Monaco, went to Paris Saint-Germain, and still they are tiptoeing. And right about now, from Paris Saint-Germain, they 100% know that they are very much aware that he is into an exit of the club, Paris Saint-Germain. So Real Madrid is 100% sure that he's going to leave. So the question I'm putting on to you, what I'm asking you, do you think Arsenal is going to beat Real Madrid when it comes to this transfer? Let me know. Get into the comment section and let me know. But as it stands right about now, it's still 50-50. We cannot come to any. Mbappe is a deal that's done at Arsenal. It's not fair, and it's fine. So I thank everybody in the comment section. Thank you for keeping the comment section busy. We can always have a chat. Big up on yourself. A few people who are in Aban, thank you for being there. Amara Ambrose, we've got Patrick, we've got Godwin, Jump, we've got Abrazio the Prince, we've got Wycliffe, we've got quite a number of people in the comment section. Andrew Joseph, Omara Ambrose, we've got big number. Thank everybody who's in the comment section. Thank you for having a chat. You know, we can always have a chat right about here. Then Omar Ambrose saying, but also, yes, when but also, yes, when Mbappe decides to choose Arsenal, yeah, that it can be like that on his decision. If he really decides that he wants to play for Arsenal, then it could go like that. But reality falls in. Reality falls in at this point in time. at this point in time, my brothers. This point in time could be a bit tricky. It could be a bit tricky. Could be a bit tricky for the club Arsenal to sign the football player. But we can never say never. We can never say never. Anyway, let's get to yet our football player. I went a little bit astray about Kylian Mbappe because we were talking about Declan Rice and Jurien Timber, main topics of the day. But somebody asked me about Kylian Mbappe. And, you are my bosses, and if you say, please talk about Kylian Mbappe, then I've got to talk about him. I've got nothing. But the thing with me, if you want the truth and honest truth, you should always tune in right here. I'm not going to give you false hope. And if it's a deal that's done, definitely. So, anyway, let's get the party going again. As we have been talking about Jurien Timber, how is one of those football players, really one of those football players that is needed at the club, Arsenal, and already he's completed his medical. Gelva saying Mbappe is one needed in this club. Yeah, he's needed, but is he gonna come? That's the thing. Reality needs to fall in place. Okay, I can see Raflo are saying, but for me, the money right now for Arsenal to break the bank. Yeah, I think at this point in time, it's quite a lot of, but yeah, I think you're right. So at this point in time, Arsenal transfer of something like, and put in consideration that 150 million pounds, that's the realistic amount that Kylian Mbappe could cost. But also, you need to know how much Kylian Mbappe will be earning per week. That's also something that you need to put into consideration. And somebody's asking whether Rice and Timber have completed their medicals. Yeah, that's true. They're done. The medicals are done and successful. So, I have Benson right about here saying Ghana's from Zambia. What about Lavia? Okay, anything that you want me to talk about, you can always go into the comment section and I will always let you know. So let's talk about a little bit about Romeo Lavia. I will remember that Romeo Lavia. From this is for you, Benson Lumamba from Zambia. This is for you about Romeo Lavia. So I will remember that Romeo Lavia is a Southampton football player and he's been playing for Southampton for quite a long period of time. Not very long, but he's a very good team. They had a clause in their contract saying that they can take 20% of any transfer when it comes to Romeo Lavia. And the fact that right about now, Southampton is in relegation and Romeo Lavia is a very good football player. Very wonderful football player. He's not going for relegation. Liverpool are saying they need him, and the club Arsenal are saying they need him. So it's going to be a fight between two clubs mainly. It's going to be a fight between between Liverpool, because Liverpool are very much into this transfer, and it's going to be a big fight between Liverpool and between Arsenal. Liverpool, Arsenal. It's going to be a big fight. Arsenal are very much into the Romeo Lavia transfer. Big time. Arsenal is not that they want that he's going to change the club, not that he's going to bring quite a lot, but Arsenal is trying to solve the problem of depth, and that's why they are 100% into the transfer of Romeo Lavia. Very good football player, I must say. Very good. Still young and talented. He's still a teenager, 19 years of age. And when you see how he's been playing, definitely it's been quite brilliant. It's been quite great. So, I think everything is definitely going on quite well, and I will continue going on quite well for the club Arsenal, as Mikel Arteta is looking forward to making sure that Arsenal gets the best of football players. And I have to salute him. I have to say good things. And really, because when you see, leave alone what happened last season, I'll be here the next season, I'll be here the next season and I'll be telling you what is really going on. So I'll be here the next season and we'll be talking. It's going to be totally different. It's going to be a different Arsenal. Already 3 players in the club. Already Declan Rice. Already I have his already in there. And already Jurien Timber in the club. Yes, Evans saying, before Evans, I can see Joseph saying who is in the next Arsenal transfer target. Next Arsenal transfer target is going to lie between 2 football players. It's going to be Moises Caicedo. And if it's not Moises Caicedo, it's going to be Romeo Lavia. And as I anticipated before and told you that after Kai Havertz is done, it's going to be Jurien Timber and Declan Rice. And that's what's happened. And I can't. It's actually going to be like that. Almost the same day. It's going to be 2 football players. It's going to be Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo. I'm not saying it's going to be a done deal, but that's what Arsenal is going to be in chess. Then even saying Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey has been linked to quite a big number of clubs. Then loads and loads of clubs that want Thomas Partey. But for a fact, Thomas Partey is heading for an exit. He's going to be leaving the club. And Juventus is very serious about taking Thomas Partey. So we could see him make a move away from the club Arsenal and move to Juventus. Then Katurebe Godwin saying it can be true. What couldn't be true? You can elaborate more so that we can definitely talk about it. We can debate about it. We can disagree to agree. Anyway, Jurien Timber, Eric. Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. If I leave now, I'll be coming back for yet another live. If I get any information that's coming in that's urgent, I'll definitely be coming in. It's been double deals, double transfers. Otherwise, thank you for being part. Thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter, and please subscribe and drink that. Somebody saying no sound. I don't know what's wrong with my sound. Thank you for being part of the Arsenal chapter, and please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss it on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as it is sports and as long as it is Arsenal related right about here at the Arsenal chapter with me, your very host, Abu Carls, as I tell thank you and goodbye for now.